Episode 106, Nerdy News and Stuff. Hey there, I'm Angela.
And I'm Nate.
And this is Daniel. We're the hosts of the show. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about all kinds of nerdy news and stuff that's been going on in the news, in our feeds, what's going on with entertainment, and a bunch of random stuff. You know, this is a variety podcast after all, so you're going to get a good mix of nerd culture, entertainment, technology, things like that. We even got a little bit of astronomy thrown in there for today. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Visionary Variety Podcast, where we cover cool stuff like photo, video, film, books, and technology. So switch on your brain and enjoy the show.
All right, so let's start with something that I'm pretty excited about, even though I kind of call this way back when, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Teaser for Stranger Things Season 4. It just came out today as of this recording.
You mean the spoiler video?
It's a teaser.
But it's a spoiler teaser.
It is a spoiler teaser. I guess it just, because it confirms what we've all basically were hoping for or knew what was going to happen. Starts off, snowy Russia. You see a group, I'm assuming prisoners, building a railway, a little railroad. And
it could be hobbyists, you know, just for fun on their side.
Yeah, because that is the thing I completely
On
forgot.
the side in Russia, they build railroads.
Zooms in on this particular worker, and he takes off his hat, or is it mask? I don't even remember. And zooms in on his face, and it's Hopper, shaved head, 5 o'clock shadows back.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's it.
Yeah. And I just highlight something really odd that he's in Russia, and he just happens to be in Russia in the new Black Widow movie. I'm so confused.
I posted a total trolly thing earlier. I actually shared that video to a few of the nerdy groups I'm on, and I just said, he wakes up in the Russian wilderness, clueless of who he is or how he got there. He's enslaved for manual labor. He works his way up the ranks to soldier, and then is given the super serum and becomes the Red Guardian.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a perfect tie.
That one's funny too.
No. Someone thought I was serious. They said, "Are you serious?"
Oh
I'm
my
like, "No,
gosh.
I am
It's
not
so funny.
serious. Do you even know? Okay.
Stay tuned.
Anyway, sorry. I had to get that off my chest. It's hilarious.
It is the greatest coincidence, though, with him being in these two things around the same time. Like, what are
and
the
then
odds?
Alexi.
Yeah. Like, what in the heck? I will not
Who's
get
writing
over
these?
it. We always bring this up.
It's
but
in the
so
upside
great.
down world.
Man,
Oh my
I
gosh.
hope that in season 4 that we finally get to explore and get some more understanding on what the upside down is.
Yeah.
Like, I thought for sure it was high time that we go there and like find things or people or whatever in that world in season 3, but
Yeah.
didn't happen. So I'm fingers crossed season 4 is going to get deep and we're going to everyone's going to go to the upside down and have to find their way out or rescue someone. I don't know.
Ooh.
Be cool.
Yeah.
I want them to find people there.
Who are you gonna call? I'm sure.
Do you think that Hopper was the American that they're talking about at the end credits, or is there somebody else? Like, what if that was still the bait and switch
Yeah, it's hard
thing?
to say.
It'd be interesting if there is somebody else that we're not expecting. I don't
Like
know.
Dr. Brenner.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever was called to be the American seemed like they were going to get become lunch for a Demogorgon, or
Yeah.
a Demidog.
Uh-huh. That's
So
why I think
don't
with
know
this
if they-
teaser, we're led to believe that he was the American, but what if there's somebody else? That's just what I'm wondering at this point.
Barbara, maybe they got Barbara out.
I'm not
Poor Barb.
expecting
Oh,
that.
no,
I'm
she was straight up
pretty
dead.
sure, yeah.
She's just instantly
She's-
gone.
She's not
Dang it.
okay, unless she got turned into a monster or something.
Whoa.
My brother said something hilarious. He said, "Bring back Barbara as a bad upside down hardened warrior."
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be funny? With
That-
her glasses and she's so nerdy and innocent. That would be so crazy.
Oh Lord. Sure.
If Netflix is smart, they'll try to milk that thing because
No.
they're hurting with all Disney Plus and
No,
all
I
the other
think if
companies
they're-
separating.
Yeah, but if they're smart too, they'll know when to end it and not drag it on for way too long to where
Yeah.
it just
I think
becomes
they'll get
garbage.
5 seasons before they go, we're done.
Maybe. I mean, hopefully they can come up with an extra season that's good, but if they feel like they got to end it, then I
Yeah.
respect that decision.
All right, on my list first, I've got Star Wars Underworld, the canceled TV show from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
What even was
I
that?
never heard of this before, so
It wasn't.
enlighten me.
So I was watching a video online that basically was test footage from the projected, hopeful filming of a full-on TV show from George Lucas. It's called Star Wars Underworld. And he made the announcement about it in 2005. So this is a little before 2010 when this whole thing was supposed to have, happened. It failed due to money issues and creative problems, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, Star Wars Underworld was going to be based on Coruscant between episodes 4 and 5, which is called the dark times in the Star Wars universe. It's the Empire is rocking and rolling, taking over planets. The Jedi are all wiped out mostly and not doing much. And in case you don't know, Coruscant is kind of like the capital planet of the Star Wars galaxy, which, by the way, is not our galaxy. It's a galaxy far, far away.
Right.
In case you forgot that, main slogan of Star Wars.
And it was in the past, too, apparently.
That, too, is a long time ago. So on this capital planet, there's actually a lot of levels, up to 1,000+ levels, like downwards underground.
Wow.
So there was another really awesome video game that, man, so many of us fans are hyped about. I think it was called 1313 or level 1313, which basically referred to the 1313th level downwards in Coruscant.
What?
And it was going to be like an underground, gritty, assassin type bounty hunter video game. Very cool. There's some awesome cinematic made for it. It's really cool.
Interesting.
I think it's either test game footage or a cinematic, but I remember it being amazing. And it got canceled too. So it's just everything Coruscant Underground gets kicked. It stinks.
Okay.
Ripe for storytelling. I mean, there's so much that goes on. It's very cyberpunky and all that.
Sounds like
so it's a shame that this show got canceled. So there was a bunch of scripts written. Apparently, now this is on one video I watched talking about the behind the scenes detail. They said that there was 50 hours filmed for this show.
Oh my gosh.
That is locked away somewhere. That we haven't seen that. One of the scripts, there's also a bunch of scripts written for it. One of the scripts had Han Solo winning the Millennium Falcon. Sounds familiar? Winning it from none other than Lando Calrissian. And I, of course, got that story got wrapped into Solo much later.
Yeah.
Another one talked about Emperor Palpatine having a love interest and getting burned by her and consequently going to the dark side.
Oh, man.
Which is pretty lame.
That would have been.
Just another Darth Vader plot, basically.
Yeah. So there's just hours and hours of footage somewhere.
Supposedly, that part may be wrong, but there is definitely some scripts written that, scripts come first. Footage comes much later with money and things like that. And you got to have a cast and crew and all that. But one dude had read or was told there was 50 hours of footage. But there is some test footage released. I think it's 8 minutes long. You can find it all over YouTube. And this is not episode footage. This is not real footage that would have resulted in the final show product. This is test footage, which means George Lucas paid and hired a VFX studio named Stargate Studios. Cool name there. I like Stargate. And because they had this really cool technology called Virtual Backlot Live, which basically means you set up an entire green screen soundstage, which is a soundstage is just a very large open area for filming green screen. Could be 20 feet, could be 100 feet wide, very large open area. Lots of actors and props and sets and stuff like that happen on a soundstage. But in this case, classic George Lucas move, everything's green screen.
Whoa.
Except for the characters.
That wouldn't be bad at all.
Yeah, so what they do with this Backlot Live, it somehow 3D tracks where your real camera is moving around on set, whether it's on a dolly or a crane or a handheld camera, and on real-time processing and happening in the background, where the directors and producers can watch a TV screen and the CGI elements are automatically added behind the actors in place of the green screen. Like, this is real-time rendering. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And this is a technology that started in the early 2000s apparently, and nowadays this is pretty commonplace for CGI films.
I mean, that's how they made The Lion King, is all in virtual reality. So and stuff like this. Yeah,
a lot of other productions have used this real-time rendering. Some of them are even using Unity, which is like a video game engine, to add kind of as a previs, but like a really high quality previs to see what is it going to look like with this spaceship over there.
It's just so cool watching life real-time editing basically already done for you.
It's impressive. Yeah, and it's well done for post 2005, pre 2010. I don't know when this test footage was made. It looks good.
Well, when I was reading it, said that the test footage was in 2010.
Well, that brings it more current.
But still.
Yeah, so that's the technology that Stargate had that George Lucas was like, OMG, yes, I love green screen everything. Let's do this, more green screen everything.
And that's when that little sound bit from him comes in and says, I think I went a little too far.
A little too far with green screen. Unfortunately, it just was just too expensive, and didn't go through to a final production. And I'm guessing George Lucas didn't find anything else after that point that was good enough and cheaper. So it just fell through the cracks and kind of got locked away for a few years. And just like a few months ago, finally got opened by someone that maybe worked for Stargate and made this BTS video, and they finally released it. I don't know where it came from, but pretty cool. You may be expecting like Mandalorian quality.
Like Firefly.
Don't expect Mandalorian quality.
What?
Nate, do you have a problem with Firefly?
No, I'm just giving a preference.
Yeah, it's a bit dated, but it's fine.
Quality of the test footage is not movie or final TV quality, mostly the voiceovers, which is what got me. So they just recorded video on this green screen set, added the CGI, added all the stuff, but then later they dubbed in voices. So
like I feel like they overdubbed the stormtroopers a little too much.
Oh, everything. Well, they're always overdubbed. I mean, probably hard to record their voice in that helmet, but yeah, it's weird when you see like the main character's voice moving. She's like talking to the guy, just kind of mouthing words, but then they overdubbed voice, and it's like, wait, okay, this is done in post. This is just like a mock-up, you know?
Yeah. That's funny.
But it's fun to watch. Yeah, kind of had this female character like landing in this cool cyberpunk car, going into an arms dealer and trying to get some like weapon or some. I think it was Death Star plans. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I think it was Death Star plans.
No, or was it? Oh no, it was. I thought it was for one of the ships.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah, but she was getting information off for the. Okay.
Yeah, and then stormtroopers show up looking for her, and they blast out the place, and they have a shootout, and so
real Western.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe one day it'll come back. Although they have to change the story because we've already had stories to cover those, story points like Rogue One and things like that. R.I.P. Star Wars Underground.
Won't see Coruscant ever again.
Interestingly enough, that's the name of a really good podcast that we had one of the guys on for recently.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Star Wars Underground podcast.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for Star Wars Underground. Angela, what do you got?
Well, for once, I'm kind of interested in a continuation of a movie series that started about 30 years ago, which is never the case for me. Solely for the reason that Rick Moranis is returning to acting, and I'm very excited about that.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie.
I'm excited.
And it might
Is it a reboot or a sequel?
I think it's a sequel because it's supposed to be following, I think, one of his kids, his son, who's going to be played by Josh Gad.
Gosh, how dumb would that be if they made a remake with the same actor?
Gosh.
That would infuriate everyone.
Grandpa's just shrinking everybody here. It'll be following his son, who's going to be played by Josh Gad, who is LeFou in the Beauty and the Beast remake, Olaf from Frozen.
Woo! Oh, nice.
So that'll be interesting. I don't think they look anything alike, in my opinion, but it's fine, I guess. Whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, and apparently he's shrinking people too, so who'd have thunk it, right?
Uh-oh.
So if they said when the movie's supposed to be released, I can't remember if it was next year or late this year. I can't recall if they... Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in seeing it, even though I don't have high hopes for the movie
That's so
itself.
rude.
I don't, you know how I feel about, continuations of series when they're kind of long dead. I'll just see it for Rick Moranis only, and that's about it, because he's one of my favorite actors, and I was kind of bummed that he had to quit acting, more or less.
He needs some money. He's coming back.
Yeah, maybe.
His kids are finally out of the house, and now he's got nothing to do.
Oh my gosh. Well,
it's like Home Alone. I mean, there's 4 of them, actually. And I was like, what do you mean there's 4? I was like, there's one that never did well at all out there.
Put a safety feature on that dang laser gun. My goodness. The worst scientific method ever.
Yeah, really. Such a hack scientist, man.
All right, speaking of sequels, the VFX supervisor from Battle Angel Aleta, or is it Aleta Battle Angel? I always mix them up. He has spoken recently about the possibility, or rather the idea, of making a sequel. So I didn't know this. I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but since it came out 1 year ago, as of today, pretty cool, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Will you all be my Valentines? Everyone listening. Including Angela and Nate.
Oh.
Send me chocolate.
That's all you want. Just send me chocolate.
I really just want chocolate. So yeah, 1 year ago, movie came out. The VFX supervisor's name is Richard Bainham. Bainham? I don't know. There's a few ways to mispronounce that.
Yeah.
He is quoted as saying, "If you want to go talk to Disney, you're welcome. The truth is there is a very rich world of material to be tapped into. I think it's just a matter of studio choices and whether or not it's the right property to be able to evolve."
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is nothing new. This is really, I don't know why this is a news article, but anytime someone big involved in a movie makes a quote like that, it's like, oh my God, news article. Stop the press. There has been a lot of petitions and online, attention, stuff like that.
I guess it's because they won the award, an award recently. So,
oh yeah, that's true.
So everybody's like, "Woo, sequel!" And they're like, "Yeah, go talk to them."
Was it best VFX or what was it? Best?
I think it was VFX. Yeah, it was the award at the Oscars.
That's cool. They deserve it. That was incredible. When the movie came out, I did a few photo shoots regarding it, and I kept up with some of the fandom. And let me tell you, there is an intense fan base. Like,
that's a very big fandom.
Kind of too intense. I don't know how to word it without being disrespectful or shaming anyone for just loving a movie so much that they say it changed their life.
It's pretty much like those that watch Lord of the Rings or Star Wars kind of fandom.
Star Wars has insane fanboys. I think
it's different. Too. But it's just that in depth of people. I'm like, you know what this is? They're like, oh, heck yeah. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Well, what I'm talking about is like the dudes who were like infatuated with the character of Aleta. And Rose, the actress.
They see her as a waifu. One of those kind of situations.
It's just a little strange. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. And she's beautiful and adorable as Aleta. But
she's not your waifu.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make a pillow with her face on it.
I wish you would
get a full body replica and put it in my room and put clothes on her.
I think we'd have to have an intervention for you.
Please do if I go that deep. So all that to say, the fan base is alive and well.
Yeah, just not with Daniel.
Their level of infatuation may vary, but there's enough people out there to get some attention in Disney's year. It's just all about money. That's basically what this guy's saying is like, hey, if Disney can make money and continue to evolve it, get maybe 3 movies out of it and a TV show and other products and maybe an anime, like a new anime show, like that's a lot of money to be made. So they'll do it if they feel like they can get that. But unfortunately, as big as the fan base is, this is no Star Wars. This is no Star Trek franchise. It's kind of a little bit of a niche anime, although it is one of the older animes from the 80s. So hopefully Disney can, get a clue like, hey, this is worth your time.
I mean, number one was really good. So
it did
I wouldn't mind them bringing out some more stuff.
Yeah. They made like 400 something million and it only cost them like 170 or 130 million. So they made almost 3 or 4 times what they spent.
Yeah, that's good.
Pretty good returns. So fingers crossed and hopefully it goes all the way through.
Who is excited about the Mandalorian season 2? They're like, it got released. They have a release date. I was like, yes. And they were like, next fall. I'm like, I hate you. I'm like, so far. You only give us a few episodes. And it's like, well, we'll see you next year. It's like,
yeah, I am. I can't wait to see where they go.
I'm really excited about the fact that they're continuing, of course. But wouldn't that be something if Baby Yoda actually doesn't have a family? And then he actually becomes the dad. No, I want the Mandalorian to be his dad. I don't want to see that separation happen.
He's got a family somewhere.
You can't just drop him off and leave him.
Well, apparently they didn't like him because they just left him somewhere. So
maybe he's probably stolen or something. I don't know.
The Emperor wants his sweet midichlorians out of that little juicy Baby Yoda.
No!
Extract the material.
Don't call him a juicy baby. No, he's got food.
That's so gross.
It's okay. He's an alien. It's okay.
Oh, no. Aren't they all aliens? Honestly, even the humanoid, they're not us. They're not Earthlings.
True. Wow, that's very true.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they learn some good lessons from season 1 and really expand the arc much larger with season 2. I want to see the Emperor sending people after him. I want them to look for the homeworld of the alien, maybe even get some hidden Jedis in there. Who knows? Because we got the Darksaber. The Darksaber is a huge piece of Star Wars lore.
That threw me for a loop. I was like, how did he get that?
Well, he stole it from Mandalore when the sack of Mandalore happened.
I was just like, oh, we got to elaborate on that for sure.
The Google searches for Darksaber or Black Lightsaber probably went up like 1 billion times that night.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because most people weren't familiar. Unless you watched Rebels.
Everybody that makes the props is like, all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you watched Clone Wars later in the seasons. Most people didn't know what that was.
Interesting.
So that's exciting. And I think that he's going to get it back. And he could be the rightful heir of the Darksaber. He's a Mandalorian. So he could get it and keep it and use it. That would be so cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it belongs to Mandalore.
That's cool. And, I don't know nothing about all that, so interesting to me.
Now you will. Now you'll know all about it after the season, I'm sure.
Well, maybe. Darth Maul and his brother had it at one point. I'll just leave that there.
There's so much stuff I don't know anything about. I gotta study up, I guess.
I hereby invite you to spend endless hours on Wikipedia learning about
it.
I don't think I can do that.
It's amazing how far you can get lost in that.
It's crazy.
You're like, wow, look at that.
There's a limit to my nerddom, and I don't think I can go past that point there. So
it doesn't go as far as Wikipedia articles.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it.
To the 20th link.
Gosh, I don't think, no. I would feel not right about myself after that, so.
Where did my day go? Yeah.
All I want to know is how my son is doing in that show, and that's all, really.
Your son?
He's my son.
I think he's everybody that
he's everybody's son. Come on.
Good thing they didn't reveal the stormtrooper that hit him, because that guy probably got hate mail.
That was
they did that. Like whoever plays him, I forgot that.
No, I know, but they probably have his everything covered. like
where he lives.
You're the stormtrooper number 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
He's got it out for him.
There were fans who were threatening to punch him and see how he liked it at whatever con he went to. And I'm like, dang, awesome. Star Wars fans are crazy. Good Lord.
He will forever live on with that reputation of being the baby puncher. The child puncher.
Oh my gosh, it's so messed up.
So I guess Mando has to go find a species that has not been, we know the species, but like the home planet and family.
Yeah, that's what everybody's hoping for. So whether we'll get it this next season or, is up to... I hope so, though.
Maybe the season finale of season 2.
Oh,
they'll get there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, unless they make it a cliffhanger, which would be awful. I just said that I have a limit to my nerddom, but in this case, not really, I guess, because...
So you pick and choose where you spread your nerddom.
Yeah, I just realized that. Sorry, but... I'm really excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake that's going to be released in April now. And they just came out with the opening movie sequence for the remake. It's about 5 minutes long, and it's like this nice cinematic intro. And I just watched it.
You know that series big if they have a movie.
It's not like a movie. Huge. It's just like cinematically rendered on the computer to where it's all nice and fancy looking.
But it's going to be a movie. It's going to be a full-length feature, right?
Oh, it's a game. I mean, it's not like a movie.
Oh, opening.
Like the opening cinematic. They're calling it the opening movie.
It was a full-on movie. You fooled me with the word movie.
No, I'm sorry. They actually did have a movie, or at least 1 or 2 or something like that. But no, I'm talking about the game, the opening cinematic. They titled it opening movie on YouTube, so my bad.
For those that haven't seen it, sorry. But they open it up very like in the hills and fog, and a bird shows up. And I was like, is this Assassin's Creed?
The bird.
I was like, what is this? Because in Assassin's Creed, they have a hawk or a bird that flies around in some of the cutscenes. And I was like, what is this?
Crossover.
The Brotherhood.
Well, that explains why there are so many Final Fantasy cosplayers at PAX South.
Oh, really?
Like 20 or 30 of them.
I would have loved to see that.
They're cool. I shot a group of 3 of them, and then there was like a huge group of characters across the river. There was like probably 7 or 8. They came over.
Daniel merged 2 big groups together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I borrow you?
We got this awesome cloud to shoot with the 3 that I had.
Oh my gosh.
And they're good.
That's cool.
They're really good.
But no, I'm just like super excited for the remake because I played the game not like when it first came out, maybe like 10 years later. So I'm not like the super nerd like some people are out there about it, but I really enjoyed
I don't get into it. I tried to play Final Fantasy VII when it came out, but I guess I just don't like turn-based combat for like humans in a real battle situation. I can't get into it. It takes me out of the
Yeah, it took me a bit to get into it as well. That wasn't like my first turn-based game I've ever played, but like the first one I remember playing, I was like, what is this? I don't like this. So I put it down for a long time. And then I tried it again, and then I kind of slowly built up liking it, and now I'm fine with it. I like the strategy behind it and stuff now. So
yeah. Well, when I started playing it, I had already been playing. I was like in the middle of playing one of my favorite RPG, which is Star Ocean 2 on PlayStation 1 as well.
gotcha.
And that game is just so is great, and it had a real time like 3D battle. I think it came out in 97 or 98, right around the time when Final Fantasy VII came out, but Final Fantasy VII kind of stole the limelight for RPGs.
To say the least.
I've always thought Star Ocean 2 was better, but it just kind of got like, it's like the redhead stepchild, and people forgot about it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Black sheep of the family.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about Star Ocean, but I've heard good things about it. I'd like to be able to play that at some point. But I
was spoiled with the real-time fighting and everything, and then I play Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, this is so lame. What am I doing, a card game or something? Is this Pokemon?
Oh my gosh. But with the remake, that makes it better for you to try it out, because it will be kind of like a real-time battle system with a little bit of turn-based stuff, for like using your items and summons and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, they've been releasing like
Daniel. We just need to get Daniel a system so he can play more games.
Yeah.
I have a PS3 for watching Redbox.
Yeah, but you sorry, it's outdated.
You're so underusing with the
For 4.
You're so underusing it. Just joking.
That's funny. And I'm super excited because they've been releasing like new footage like every now and then ever since like E3, and I've just been like eating it all up whenever new stuff has been coming out. And it all looks so pretty. And it looks like a ton of fun. The only thing that gets me is like the voice acting is not the greatest. It reminds me of like mediocrely dubbed anime kind of. But I'm used to it, so I guess I can look past it.
Like the Star Wars TV show.
Sure.
Yeah. Sample footage.
Right. I'm probably not going to be able to play it when it releases, even though I'm excited for it, just because I never do that. I'm like a year behind most releases nowadays, sadly.
So you're not a true nerd.
Not anymore. Like I'm
a delayed nerd.
I'm cheap.
Delayedness.
I'm cheap. I play things when it's like half off the retail price.
Yeah.
But like that's like my most anticipated game that's going to be released this year, out next to Animal Crossing New Horizons. So that's a weird contrast between the two.
Yeah. We went from wow to
No, it's not. It's just you got to catch bugs and fish to pay off your mortgage, and it's fun. Okay.
Okay then. I'll take your
back to my
You don't understand.
So weird sounding.
My point stands.
It's good. Trust me. Okay, I'm done.
We're all attacking you. All right. I got I'm still talking about Star Wars here. I'm sorry. This is Star Wars-ish. So Jake Lloyd, who played little Anakin Skywalker in episode 1.
So great.
He has recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia. I think this year. And yeah, it's very sad. He also has some other condition, Angela, you mentioned, that kind of disallows him from seeing his issue, or
he's not able to see the full reality of a situation. So it's almost like he can't even
from his own need.
Sort of,
schizophrenia is kind of a disconnect from some certain parts of reality. So that but it's very sad. His family his mother has made a few statements to TMZ about his situation and what was his mental health care that he's getting right now. Last year, he was arrested after a high-speed chase with police. He went over 100 miles per hour. And they got him, obviously. And I think at that point, he was in prison, and they transferred him to a psychiatric, help facility, which is good for him. Hopefully, he gets better soon. But he's had a rough time.
For sure.
Since filming episode 1, he said in a number of interviews that he was made fun of by like all the kids at his school. According to him, they'd make lightsaber noises when he walked by and just pestered him. And and that's ridiculous. Like,
which sounds cool, but I'm not in his shoes. But
you want
they
people
should
to
have
make
been jealous. They probably were jealous. But like,
I mean, to an
how
extent.
cool is that? To be in a Star Wars movie, how would they make fun of him? I don't get kids.
I mean,
these days.
it's the same thing with Jar Jar Binks, the actual actor. He got attacked like crazy, and he thought about taking his own life. So,
well, no one was jealous of him, but regardless, they should have done what they did.
I mean, but like we've even seen the bully recently in the in the later Star Wars, where that one girl had to delete her Instagram.
Rose, Rose got bullied a ton. Awful.
Very, very sad. Hey, there's so many toxic people in the Star Wars world. It's really disgusting.
Yeah, they're the same people that make petitions so they can redo movies.
Oh my gosh, and think it'll actually happen.
That's so stupid. My gosh.
Hey, we're gonna remake episode 8. Yeah, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Disney's gonna
telling
do
yourselves
that,
that pumpkins.
So I looking up a few different things about Jake Lloyd. I learned something I didn't know. He was in Apollo 11. He was in Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was in the show ER. Did y'all know that?
No. I thought he quit acting when he was 12. So did he fit all that in before he turned 12?
Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know.
He was young. He was 10 in episode 1.
Yeah. Jingle All the Way came out before that, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it did. I remember that being a 90s movie. So. Okay. Makes sense.
Yep. So that's what's up with him. Hopefully he gets better soon.
Yeah, for real.
And, goodness.
It's weird. Like Hayden Christensen, I don't know, as far as I know, he's not dealing with issues like Jake is, but his career has not been great.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him being in anything recently at all.
He was with Nicolas Cage for some like heist movie, American Heist or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in that. And then like a couple years ago, Netflix had what's called like Little Italian. It was kind of like a indie film. It wasn't that great, but it was. He was in there.
So the lesson we've learned is anyone who portrays Anakin Skywalker is doomed.
The curse.
Yeah,
unless you're
it's the curse of Anakin.
I am never cosplaying as him.
Yeah, unless you're James Earl Jones and you're actually Vader instead. That's about it.
That's all I got on Jake.
Speaking of people that have problems.
Speaking of darkness and no parents.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Robert Pattinson's Batman suit has kind of gotten a teaser reveal recently.
Woo!
It's not the whole suit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just like the chest up.
If you want to see the whole suit, you have to watch the black and white version. Let's just put it that way. So the teaser that they put out was all black and red, and I'm like, what even is he wearing? I mean, everybody knows it's the Batman suit, but if you want to see like details, you have to go to the black and white version. Now I can see everything.
Oh well, shoot, I didn't know that. Oh well.
Everything.
Oh god.
No, well, all the appropriate stuff of Batman.
No.
Oh,
okay.
Oh man, but there was like one theory I've read about Batman's new suit, and I'm kind of hoping is real, but I'm not putting any money on it. But his new bat symbol insignia that he has on his chest, if you notice, it's very like complex looking,
different.
like it's made from parts. And there's the theory going around that it's actually crafted from the handgun that his parents were killed with.
Gosh,
that's deep.
You know, there's something about Batman movies. If we have to see how his parents died again, I'm gonna be like, what the heck are we actually doing with Batman? Because we did that with, for sure, we did that with Christian Bale. We did that with Batfleck. Like, I'm like, come on, guys.
Every
Her parents keep dying.
You have to know his internal struggles every single reboot. Okay,
I'm cool with callbacks. Like, if there's a little hint of where it calls like a callback, I'm cool with that. But like the whole full story that comes, I'm like, let's stop. We know how he dies.
I've grown to accept Robert Pattinson as a potential good Batman.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a surprise to some people out there, but he's done more movies other than Twilight.
It's true. I've never seen any movie he's been in, by the way, so I can't comment on his acting ability. But
I hear nothing but good stuff about his other films. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I've heard decent things. And from what I understand, he regrets his role as Edward in Twilight.
Yes,
because
he has repented.
Like in the DVD commentaries with the actors, he's just like roasting himself a lot.
Awesome.
So,
I want to see that. That sounds funny.
that sounds really funny. So I was like, okay, you're fine.
I would just love to see actors roast their own previous jobs. That would be so funny.
That would be pretty good.
Like I said, I'm fine with him being Batman, but I would rather, instead of seeing another Batman in the past like 10 years, what has there been, like 3, seems like 20 years maybe. I want to see Batman Beyond. Like he would make a great Terry for Batman Beyond. He's even younger looking. I feel like he almost looks too young to be the Batman I'm used to.
Yeah.
Like the late 30s-year-old Batman.
And Joaquin Phoenix is definitely not part of the universe, so that's
Oh yeah.
I mean, I must say I haven't seen the Joker movie yet because everybody says it was really dark, of course, but a lot of people said they walked away sad or not feeling good. I was like, wow, I don't know if I want to watch that.
It's art, Nate. It's not supposed to make you feel good a lot of the time.
When I go to the movies, I don't want to feel like contemplating life. Okay.
Okay.
Or sanity. In this case,
yeah, right.
I don't want to be
the Joker.
Am I just as unhinged, possibly too?
Well, I'm going to make another great segue already.
Okay.
Speaking of darkness and signals,
oh man!
Last year, There was reported by some Canadian researchers that there is something out in space sending a signal, and it was repeating on a pattern. So, yeah, pretty cool. Aliens, maybe.
Or someone trapped out in space.
Yeah, SOS. Oh, they're dead by now. They were super dead. This is like
they're very far away.
Millions of light years away.
Uh-huh.
So the signal will repeat its own pattern every 16 days. For 4 days, it would send a signal one or two every hour, and then for the remaining 12 days of that pattern cycle, it would be nothing. So 4 days of beep beep boop boop, and then nothing. Now, if someone's trying to send a signal out in space, that's a really terrible way to do it. One every few hours for only 4 days, that's like nothing.
Gotta make sure you're paying attention.
Are you guys ready? Okay, now here's the real signal. I think it's probably just a spinning neutron star. Or,
I've seen those
pulsar
theories. And I'm like, whatever you say, because I don't understand any of that. All right.
Well, if you like space and mysterious things out in space, definitely go check out our last episode where my friend Andy and I talked about the top 10 weirdest things in space. That was an awesome episode.
So good.
Like, it was fun. I learned a lot. And if anyone's interested in astronomy, then definitely check out that episode, because we talk about pulsars and signals and neutron stars, all kinds of really wild stuff out there.
Nice self-promotion there. It was a good segue.
Yeah. Tie-in.
So we have radio signals out in space.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what it sounds like, or are we just going off of one person's word?
Well, it's not necessarily a sound. You can
It's just
turn
frequencies.
Yeah, you can turn frequencies of radio signals and other things into sound waves by kind of it's almost like you're lowering their pitch down to the sound frequency range.
Yeah.
It's not that you could have heard it originally, but you can kind of translate it into sound.
When they say radio, they're just seeing like numbers and frequencies coming in.
It's a burst of radio frequencies. I don't know if it's one frequency or a bunch, but it's just kind of on and off. It's not really like a continuous signal that we can turn into sound.
So if we can't turn our radio stations to that channel and hear it.
No. Well, okay. you could if you had a ginormous receiver that was focused. So
let's go hack NASA. Woo.
Oh yeah. The way that they're doing is that I think they have a huge array of these weird looking satellites that just are on the ground facing directly upwards, and they're able to focus on certain areas of the night sky and listen for things. And they actually found, I think, 8 or so other pulsing objects that have somewhat of a pattern to them. So these are called fast radio burst objects, or FRBs, that send really quickly. If they're coming from pulsars, they can be super fast, and that they're getting like a burst every millisecond. So there's some things are rotating extremely fast out in space, and they're sending a burst every time that they're like north or south pole passes by the Earth. We get that burst. And other things rotate, maybe some pulsars have been recorded to have rotating like every 20 to 40 minutes, which is a slow burst. So pretty interesting. Now, the signal is coming from a different galaxy. It's 500 million light years away. So if the age of the universe is correct, based on light speed travel, this happened 500 million years ago.
Oh, wow. Then.
So,
a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, right?
Oh, snap.
Got him.
Ultimate.
It's Palpatine.
Genius, Angela. This is from Star Wars.
Thank you.
And you say you're not a nerd.
The last dying Jedi of the Star Wars galaxy sent out an SOS distress signal before the galaxy was consumed.
Dang.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
So we could have been part of that, but we just go like, "Oh, that's cute." And
that was
gosh.
That's my headcanon now for what it is.
I like it.
Until it's disproven.
All right, in closing, we got a few more kind of short, quickie things here. There's been some really smart guys out there that have taken the image textures from older video games, like from the late 90s, and they've used, I think it's called neural network or AI learning to enhance the quality. You remember that old enhance that image trope from the TV shows? Well, it's actually real now. They're using AI or neural networks to basically analyze what this image should be. And they're able to add the pixels in between the pixels that were not there originally.
Yeah.
In other words, enhancing the image.
Reduces the compressed look.
Yeah.
Basically.
They're taking a low-res image and turning it into high-res. In this case, they're making all these textures into 4K textures, which is ginormous.
Yeah, that's insane.
And they look crisp and they look clean and nice. And so they're basically taking these older games, just giving them this revitalization with, an image quality boost. And of course, replaying them. So I think that's awesome. I'd love to play some old games.
It can go either way for me because I looked up a couple of test videos for that with 2 different games. One of them looked really good. The other one looked a little too sharp, a little unnatural to me. Huh. So I can see where it could skew the completely wrong way. But if you do it right, it could be pretty good. It can be a good way to revisit a game and get a totally cool new experience out of it.
Yeah, I think it's a really clever idea. Another thing is George Lucas. We've been talking a lot about Star Wars this episode, and I'm okay with that. But why am I apologizing? George Lucas had a cameo in 2 Star Wars movies that you may never have known about. Now, he wasn't actually on screen. He was behind a mic, and he did a scream. He recorded a George Lucas, I'm going to call it the George scream.
Yes, when it's
and it made its way. It was in Rogue One, and it was in the Rise of Skywalker.
I think the Last Jedi as well, from what I read. But maybe sources are different. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, this is kind of like the Wilhelm scream, which Angela, you've talked about in previous episodes about movie cliches. It was hilarious.
I sure did. I can replicate it perfectly if nobody knew.
All right, give us a Wilhelm scream.
I can't today. My throat's just not in the right
it's a bad day.
Orientation today.
Okay. It's not in Wilhelm orientation today.
No, not today.
Well, you can look it up on YouTube. And in fact, I encourage you to do so and watch the countless movies that have used the Wilhelm scream. Which is what, recorded in the 40s or 50s? It's
starting the 50s, I believe.
It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
So now George is, putting his shoe in the game, and he's got a scream sample out there too that's been getting used. We'll see if it makes its way around
we don't know what it is yet, though, right? It's a mystery from what I believe.
I don't know if anyone's pinpointed it yet, but it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I've tried to find it to see if there's any article that had a link to what it was, and it seems like nobody's discovered what it is quite yet.
Since we know at least 2, possibly 3 movies it's in, it's only a matter of time till some nerd literally samples every scream, categorizes them into a spreadsheet, and then cross-examines them from all the other movies and finds, this scream is in all 2 or 3 movies. I found it.
It's doing the Lord's work right there.
Don't tempt me.
That was great. But you know what this actually means is that they have retired the Wilhelm scream, I believe.
Perhaps.
No.
Yeah, that's what the couple articles said, is that they were retiring the scream and replacing it basically with George's.
It's impossible.
We'll see. I mean, did you notice it in the last few movies? I can't say I did. I don't think so.
No.
I could be wrong, though. It's not like
always
I remember
sneaky,
everything.
though.
That wasn't sneaky at all. It was pretty out there.
They put that in your face, didn't they? The guy falling off the wall or something?
I think it was in every movie, but the one that's most distinct and in my mind is when he falls off Helm's Deep and you just ah! See, that's not my best impression right there. I told you I'm not in the right orientation.
It's okay. We know you can do better.
I know. Some other time.
And last thing on our list here is that Facebook got hacked.
Ooh.
And Instagram, I think.
Who would have not?
Wasn't it their Twitter and their Instagram pages?
Yeah.
So it's not Facebook directly, but the other website.
Savage.
Although Instagram is owned by Facebook, so yeah, technically them, I guess.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same money-grabbing monster.
Sure.
Well, I don't know any details about that, but I just know they got hacked.
Oh man, I have the story here. Let me pull it up real quick.
Do tell.
Yeah, I have a link somewhere. I have to get
This
to
just in.
Was it by anonymous? Who did it?
No, but it's a different group. Facebook's official Facebook and Messenger accounts on Twitter and Instagram were hacked by this group called Our Mine, and they left a message on their Twitter saying, "Oh shoot, where is it?" Add a second. Yeah, so they left a message on their on Facebook's Twitter account that says, "Hi, we are Our Mine." Well, even Facebook is hackable, but at least their security is better than Twitter's. So they're basically a group that's just spreading awareness on how the security for a lot of websites is not very good and prone to hacking. And they actually are some sort of hackers. Yeah, they're for good from what they advertise themselves as. I mean, they could be up to no good behind the scenes. You never know. But they advertise themselves as some sort of business where it's to improve your account's security, contact us. And they have a website, an email address So I guess just to test your websites, like how prone it is to hacking, I suppose.
I would
So
be scared of going there.
yeah, yeah. But I've always
good.
thought, I always thought it was a cool idea to maybe employ some hacker to test your website to see like just how good your security is. But it's like, I don't know if I'm going to trust these people either because they could be up to no good as well. So,
Right.
but the story's funny. So I think it's pretty good.
Who even uses Twitter besides Donald Trump? And us.
Nobody else. Just
us chatting back and forth. Who can outspeed
Donald?
That's funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, goodness.
Well, that is it for this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other interesting tidbits of news about entertainment or anything nerdy or geeky, send it our way. We'd love to check it out. And thanks for listening. We'll be with you next week. If you like this show, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app. You can also find our previous episodes there and listen whenever you want. We love to hear from our listeners, so if you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, you can reach us at tvvpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and have a great week. Checkity check, check, check.
Okay, I'm recording.
Oh, we record these?